Alrighty. Hi, folks. How's it going? My name is Carrie. I'm City Market's Assistant Outreach and Education Manager. I'm the one who's been emailing you all. I'm really excited to have this class tonight, Chicken Marbella. I love this recipe. I'm excited to have it for dinner tonight. This is probably the only time you'll see me on screen, just a couple logistic things to go over, and then I'll be behind the scenes for the rest of this and let our fabulous instructor Audrey take over. So a couple things, if you're joining us a little bit late, you can hit live. It's down near the play pause button. That just catches you up to where we are live rather than starting you from the very beginning. You are watching on about a 30-second delay from what we're streaming out. So if you're like, I put in a question or I made the comment, why haven't they gotten to it yet? You're watching on 30 seconds later, you're typing in your question, it's getting to me, and then maybe we've answered it and it's another 30 seconds. So just be patient. I promise I'll try to get to all the questions. Along that vein, there is a Q&A box. Once I'm done here, I'll go behind the scenes and put a question or a comment into that so you can see where that is. I can see all of those on my end, and I will ask them out to our fabulous instructor. If it's a question that I can answer just about City Market or like a tech question, I can also type you a response privately, so keep an eye on that. Along that line of tech things is, unfortunately, sometimes tech goes poorly. Occasionally, our sound software just decides it's done and it needs to be restarted, so you'll start hearing really glitchy sound. I am listening on a phone, so I am also hearing everything on that 30-second delay. So just know that if that does happen, I will hear it and catch it. It'll just be a little bit late, and then we'll have to restart the audio software. But hopefully that doesn't happen tonight, knock on wood. So I think without further ado, I'll turn things over to Audrey. One thing you can do once I put a comment into that Q&A box is let us know where you're watching from. It's always really fun to hear where people are tuning in from when it's not just little old Vermont. So Audrey, take it away.
Thanks, Carrie. Hi, everybody. Well, I don't know where you are today, but we are in Burlington, Vermont, and
we have glitching. So
hold on, folks.
Sorry to start that way. All right, should be okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was just thinking, I'm not sure where you are tonight, but we're in Burlington, Vermont, and we are getting a lot of snow finally, and pretty much everyone here is super excited about it because we've had a very unsnowy winter so far. And just in the last week or so, we've just gotten a ton of snow, and it's very exciting. So where are you guys? Where are you watching from? Let us know.
We have San Francisco so far.
Yes, San Francisco. I happen to have a couple flowers here with me today. This is stock. It's so beautiful, and it just kind of brightens everything up. And I also am a flower farmer and florist, so I love to have flowers with me. And thought I'd just share this beauty with you today. So we're making chicken Marbella, which I always say wrong. I have dyslexia, like crazy dyslexia. So for some reason, I always say chicken Marbella, but it is not. It's chicken Marbella. So we're going to switch up the order of things that we're doing just to sort of save time and also be efficient with our food so that we don't have to cook tons and tons of food. I'm going to show you what the chicken looks like once it's been marinated and how we put it into the baking dish. And then we're going to put it in the oven and cook it. This chicken, by the way, I decided at the last minute that I remembered that I love doing this with boneless and skinless chicken thighs. The reason that I love doing that is because I don't find it that beautiful to serve this gorgeous dish and then have the plates like have these bones on them at the end. I had it for a dinner party once, and I was like looking around, and I was like, God, I wish those bones weren't on there. So they have a thing called boneless chicken these days. Boneless chicken thighs, anyway. So we're gonna do the bone-in chicken thighs for the recipe that we're doing. I'm gonna show you how to make the marinade step by step, and I'm gonna then put that in the oven. But right now, I'm going to show you what the marinated chicken looks like. And
We have some folks tuning in from St. Paul, Minnesota, Scottsdale, Arizona,
oh, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Hansel, Ohio, Newtown, PA, Portland, Oregon, California, and Auburn, Mass, where Peg says we haven't gotten much snow.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. It wasn't too much fun driving home in it last night, but it is beautiful today.
Okay, so got my baking dish here. So this is how I marinate my chicken. You can do it in a large bowl. I thought I brought some extra Ziploc bags. Do you have any here? Do you?
I don't, but I can go run down and grab some if you want.
That's okay. You know what? I can just do it in a bowl to show you how this goes if you do it in a bowl. So, but I put mine in a Ziploc bag. And everything's in here except the wine and the brown sugar. So this just makes it super convenient. Quick cleanup. If you don't like using plastic, which I try not to use too much plastic, but sometimes I use it. So I'm just gonna dump this into my baking dish. Get all that goodness out of there.
We have someone asking if you use boneless, skinless chicken thighs instead, how many pounds should you use for the recipe as written, since the recipe was written with bone weight?
Right. That's a good question. I would say if it's this is a recipe for an army, by the way.
Yeah, we're doing halves and
We're doing
quarters
half tonight. I'm gonna make a half of a recipe. So a full recipe was 2 chickens, 3 to 4 pounds each. I would say about 6 to 8 to 10 to
like
12.
thighs, not pounds, right?
Yeah,
we went by
thighs.
like count.
Let's say 10 chicken thighs.
Yeah.
Because actually they are a lot smaller than you think
Right.
once they've gotten all the bones out and everything. So I would say about 10 to 12 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And it cooks a lot faster also. That's another bonus. And there's not that much of a difference in taste for this type of a thing. There's so much deliciousness going on with this marinade.
It smells amazing, just you dumping that out.
Yeah.
We have hello from Bremen, Georgia, Mississauga, Ontario. I probably just butchered that, who's digging out, and Michigan, we also just had 8 inches.
Oh, nice.
It's about, I think, what we have here, like 6 to 8, depending on how close you are to the lake.
Okay, so can you see all the deliciousness in here? We've got our chicken, and I'm just going to arrange it here a little bit, just so that it's in a single layer and everything has been nicely coated. I don't want the chicken to be on top of each other, really. This was about 6, this is about 6, yeah, this is about 10 pieces of chicken, boneless chicken thighs. And see, this is sort of what it looks like. They actually
They
almost butterfly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hold it back on top of itself so that it doesn't overcook.
Would you consider this as kind of like a special occasion recipe or more of a easy sort of put it into your rotation?
Really both,
Yeah.
because the marinade's so quick to make. And then you just pop it in the fridge overnight and then take it out and pour the wine on and the brown sugar, baste it a couple times. I have done it without cooking the juices afterwards. I've just used it like that, put some parsley on, and it was perfect. So it's pretty easy, but it is kind of a showstopper too. And I mean, it's like everyone's favorite recipe. You just say chicken Marbella and people are like, oh, I love that. I've made that, for 30 years. I love it every time. Or, the Silver Palette recipe, cookbook. And it's so delicious because it's sweet, it's salty, it's got prunes, it's got olives, it's got capers, it's got brown sugar, wine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna rinse my hands off really quickly
Yes. Raw chicken.
and come back in 1 second.
Sorry again for the audio issues right at the start, folks, but hopefully you didn't miss anything super important in what I was saying and you heard everything that Audrey was saying, and that's the important part.
Okay.
Ruby asks, can the sugar be omitted? I have health issues. So if you don't do the sugar on top, is it still?
I think you can omit the sugar. Yeah.
Because it's got the prunes, right? They're pretty sweet.
Yeah. Or maybe just add a couple more prunes. That's a good idea. You know what? Actually, I always add more prunes anyway, and more olives, because I just love all that stuff so much. And then if you add the olives and you add the prune to kind of balance it out. All right, so we're doing, let's see. For this recipe, I am doing a cup of white wine and also the brown sugar. Now, you can put the brown sugar on first, or you can put the white wine on, but you do not want to wash the brown sugar off with the wine. So, and then about a cup of brown sugar.
We have Santa Rosa, California. Welcome. And then also for people who are not wine drinkers, what name of a wine are you looking for when you say a dry?
Oh,
Like what type?
usually a dry is what have I got here? Sauvignon Blanc or I forget, what is the other? Pinot
Grigio or like a Chardonnay?
Grigio.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a Chardonnay.
Not a Chardonnay. That's sweet.
Yeah, it's too oaky or something. So I'm just eyeballing it here actually. And I'm just putting it on top of the chicken. I'm not putting it everywhere.
A couple more questions on substitutions. Kathy asks, could you substitute dates for the prunes and olives? I think you could substitute dates for the prunes, but not
for the olives. Yeah. We also have capers in here.
Yep, that was Alice's question. Do you have to use the capers? Maybe we don't have some olive and caper fans in the audience.
Oh dear. Well, it's not going to be the same, but it's probably still going to be a pretty delicious meal. Dates. Yeah, you can use dates. And in fact, I think that Ottolenghi's recipe uses dates. He has a chicken Marbella recipe as well, and I'm pretty sure he uses dates.
Hello from So Far Snowless Winter, New York City. Hello. Have you ever made this with the olives that still have the pits, or do you consider that a deal breaker?
Oh, I've made it with it, but I have not put the pits in there.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
It's like, you're gonna get.
You sit there and pit all the olives and then mix it in.
Yeah. Which is a pain in the butt, if you ask me. It's much easier to get pitted olives. So I'm going to put this in the oven at 375. And because this is boneless, we're going to check it at around 30 minutes.
30? Okay.
Yeah. So
I will set you a time.
And also we're going to baste it a couple times.
You want me to do like 10 minutes, baste it, 10 minutes, baste it?
Yeah,
10?
that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Lots of great questions on ingredients coming in.
Okay.
If I'm not a wine drinker, can I use broth?
Yes, you can use broth.
I think a lot of these, you all should just try them and tell us how it turns out. Send us an email and be like, I made it with dates. It was great. Or I left the capers out and it needed something. Or
yeah, that's a good idea.
Let us know.
Okay. Yeah, you can always make substitutions.
It's just not going to be exactly the same recipe,
just
right?
It's not going to have the same.
Joanne says, hello from Oxford. Yes, how necessary is the brown sugar? We just talked about that. You could probably leave it out. And aloha from Honolulu.
Oh, neat.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so we're going to move on to getting the potatoes into the boiling water. So I'm using, any waxy potato will do, or a mashed potato is what I prefer. I say here.
And I see by the recipe you're a peels-on mashed potato person.
Well, I think I said in this one, oh no, I just said waxy potatoes. Well, because this is a smashed recipe, not mashed. Like if it was going to be mashed, I would probably peel them. 6 to 8 medium potatoes. These are kind of small. But the thing, I do have a knife here.
Okay, great.
The thing that I would do with these is just peel or get those little eyes out. And I should have checked that before, so I didn't have to make you guys watch me do this. But let's take some questions.
Yeah.
While I'm
Someone commented, broth with the addition of the acidic olives and capers sounds like it would be good to me. Yeah, you're just kind of mimicking that wine flavor already with the olives and capers. So yeah, let us know. Again, we love to hear if you all make these recipes on your own. Like send pictures, tell us how it went, because it kind of creates that feeling of us being together and cooking in the kitchen when it's a live stream and you're all, far away.
Yeah, that reminds me. Us, actually, we talked about this earlier, because we did get a picture of someone's bush de Noel, which was so cool, and it was so beautiful. And we asked if we could share it on my Instagram and tag her, and she said yes. And I just thought that would be so fun to do. So if you want to send pictures, my Instagram is Poker Hill Flower Farm, and give me your name. Well, I guess it'll have.
Or just post it and tag you, right?
Yeah, post it, tag me, or you can DM me. Yeah, you can post it and tag me. And or you can also tag City Market. And that's just so cool for everybody. I love it. Love that you're trying it, that you're making it, and that it's, it's beautiful and you want to feel proud to take a picture of it. All right, we're almost done with these eyes here.
And we are using nice local potatoes from Burnt Rock Farm today. Super excited to be able to have a lot of really great local Vermont produce still in the winter months, which is awesome.
Yes, yes, these are beautiful. They're really, really yellow. I don't know if you can see how.
Yeah, they're called like gold or spun gold, or they had an interesting name that I went, yeah, that sounds good. Do you have any knowledge on the name Marbella, like where the name of it came from, the origin, or any stories behind it?
Well, the things that I should research before I
can do some
these.
Googling while you're.
Marbella, it's probably like some town in somewhere romantic, but I don't know. I'm embarrassed. So I'm gonna just cut these in quarters, and I've got some boiling salted water going here.
Let's see. I found a Origins of Chicken Marbella Google page. Dish was made famous by the Silver Palette cookbook, yes. Marbella is a coastal city in Spain, which led some to believe that the dish was of Spanish origins, but it's not the case. It was a Jewish-American dish invented on Manhattan's Upper West Side in the 70s.
That makes sense, though. The prunes.
Yeah, the prunes and the olivey kind of Spanish flavors, but.
I was just thinking today that my grandmother always used to call them pruins. And she loved pruins so much. And she loved chocolate covered prunes. And believe it or not, they are delicious. And she lived in Palm Beach. And every year she would send me a box of these prunes for some holiday, at least one box. some holiday or another. And
Can you put your mics back? Yeah, there you go. One under your shirt. Perfect.
don't
Kathy,
eat the whole box.
Yeah.
Is all I want to say.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Kathy, the recipe was attached to all of the reminder emails that I sent. So if you go back to the email where you found the link to join us, all of these emails had PDF attachments of the recipes that we're doing today.
What are your favorite ways of putting things like this into boiling water?
Jump back.
Yeah, so sometimes I use a spider. I don't know if you know what that is. It's kind of like a ladle that's mesh. But then it's like you gotta put it in here and you put it in there. What do you guys do? Let me know. Tell me. I need to know. Anybody have any tips? All right, now, do we have another timer?
Yeah, I can do another timer.
Okay, so let's just do let's start at 20 minutes here.
20 minutes, you got it.
So now we're gonna make the marinade for the chicken, and I'm gonna go through step by step and show you how to make this.
Phyllis wants to know, where is your flower farm? Would love to visit. Are you open to the public?
It depends, Phyllis. Are you very nice?
I'm sure.
My flower farm is in Underhill, Vermont, and we're not completely open to the public. Like you can't just drive in and come and visit, but you can DM me and tell me that you're going to be around and you'd love to come see it, and it can probably take you on a little tour. So I definitely have done that before. Okay, so I'm making this in a bowl because I don't know what I did with my. That's what happens. I get so organized before I come here. The second I walk in here, I'm like a blank sheet of paper. I can't remember a thing.
I feel like it's different talking to people versus talking to a camera.
Oh, it's not even when I'm talking to people. Oh, talking to you mean?
Yeah,
like when
me versus the camera versus if we had people in the kitchen with us.
Right, it's just something goes blank. It's like, where's the masking tape? And it's sitting like right here. Or, I know I brought Ziploc bags. Who knows where they are?
Okay. I have a bunch of people who are answering your potato question. Someone says, I only ever steam potatoes like Martha Stewart. So like not having to drop it into boiling water, but in a steamer basket. Some people take the cutting board over to the pot and just slide stuff in with a knife or with their hands.
A lot of water flying with that technique too.
Someone says, I put them all into a strainer and then put that strainer into the boiling water and dump them out.
Oh, that's good.
Karen just says, I use my hands, less tools to wash. So, yep.
Right. Oh, thanks, guys. That's good info. Okay, so here we go. 1 large bowl. Starting with 1/4 of a cup of olive oil.
Yeah, and so we're doing a half recipe here, like Audrey said, to demo.
Yeah.
Because that would be a lot of chicken between what's already in the oven and another full recipe.
So this is actually a 1/2 cup, so I'm just going to use half of it. 1/2 cup of a good olive oil. Now, this does not have to be extra virgin olive oil for something like this. Like for a salad, I would definitely use, or a salad dressing, I would use extra virgin. This happens to be extra virgin, but you don't have to use it.
Someone says, put a large spoon upside down on the surface and start dumping your ingredients there. After you start a little pile, you can move the spoon and dump the rest where you started. So that doesn't like splash, it hits what's already in the pot. And
in there?
Yeah.
Now, have you tried that?
That's what this person commented.
Okay. I don't understand how that goes. You're going to have to send me a description.
TikTok video.
Yeah.
Peg loves your top.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I keep touching my microphone. Now, listen. I'm sure my husband isn't watching, but probably tonight he is watching because I'm going to say this. But I have been going crazy on the Poshmark. And I just got this. It's Claire V, who I love, out of Los Angeles. I love you, Claire V. Could sponsor the cooking shows. And I found it on Poshmark, and It just arrived. And I had such a hard time figuring out what to wear tonight. And then this came in the mail and I was like,
That was your 10-minute timer for your first basting of the
okay.
chicken, or do you want me to go do that while you keep mixing the
You
marinade?
could do the next one. I'll
Okay.
do the first one just so I can show you how I'm basting.
Great. And Kathy also says, I use my large bench scraper to load potatoes into the water. Also smart.
Oh,
All these great options.
that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Who was that said that?
Kathy, I believe. One second. Let's scroll back
Kathy.
or Karen, or yeah, Kathy.
Kathy. I actually brought my bench scraper because I wanted to show you all that this is much better way to scoop up your chopped ingredients instead of using your knife and getting it super dull by doing that. So great minds, I would say. So look at all that deliciousness happening already. Can you see that? So I'm just going to take a large spoon because I don't have a baster. And now, how do you baste without getting all of the sugar off? Now, that is an interesting question.
It's probably different with bigger bone-in chicken pieces, right, than the thighs, because these are
Yeah.
sitting down further in the liquid
Yeah.
already. Phyllis, it's Poker Hill Flower Farm. Her Instagram is in the chat if you scroll back up a little bit. Poker, like a fireplace poker. Poker Hill.
Poker Hill. It's the road that we live on.
Matt says, I promise the spoon method works for dumping stuff in a pot, so we'll have to try it.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm going to Google it when I get home or tomorrow morning.
I love how chatty everybody is in today's class. This feels very much like people are here in the kitchen with us chatting.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have classes where nobody wants to type. It's just very quiet.
No, we get a lot of questions.
We get a lot of
usually, I
questions.
think.
Yeah.
Okay, so this smells, no, I'm not going to taste it because it's got raw chicken in it. Barely raw. It's cooking, but I wanted to smell it. It is such a great smell. I mean, I'm sorry for anyone out there who's not going to be able to use all these ingredients because the combination of these ingredients is terrific. So if you can, I would. So we're going to baste it a few times, and we're going to keep checking it. And if things start to brown too quickly, we can lightly cover it with foil. Okay. All right. So I've got my potatoes boiling away over here, and I've got half a cup of pitted prunes. Again, pitted is the way to go.
Imagine if you did this with bone-in chicken, olives with pits, and prunes with pits, and you tried to eat. You'd have to be like, eat, pull something out of my mouth, eat.
No, you'd have to pit everything, and you could have the bone-in chicken. That would be fine. These are very, very good.
They are, yeah.
But you cannot have pits in your dish.
All right, I'm gonna
That was a big prune. I'm sorry.
It's good to know that you're enjoying the food that you're making, you know?
Now I wanted to show you another tool. Who knows what this is?
Giant tweezers.
Yes. For cooking. They're cooking tweezers.
Amazing.
Do you know about them? Does anyone know about these cooking tweezers?
We will find out in approximately 30 to 45 seconds.
Okay, now I'm using my pitted olives. Also, now, it's hard to get olives out of here. Keep the juice for later. So I like to just, I haven't figured it. Well, this is one way that you can use this, but this is
very slow.
Little, but I am going to use this for the capers. So I would just pour out the juice.
We have some no's about the cooking tweezers. So apparently
you
you're
don't know
introducing people to new things.
Okay, yes, good. Well, that's why I brought them.
My
Also,
fiance uses cooking chopsticks.
Yeah,
So
that's a good thing to do. I also love these olives. So now I'm going to put this brine back into my olive jar so that I can keep these olives.
oh, a couple good questions. Kathy wants to know what's the difference or benefit of cooking with tweezers versus tongs?
Oh, I'll tell you. They're much more delicate, or you're able to place things easier. So let's say I had bacon cooking or something. With a tong, it's a little tricky to get in there and flip it over. But with these, it's so easy. Do you see, like, I can just take this small piece, or I can't think of any other delicate things
Yeah,
that
so you
you
don't
would
have to put as much pressure, right? Like tongs, you have to
Well,
squeeze
it's
and
just
yeah.
not so big.
Yeah.
It's small. Now here's a great example. So keepers also very hard to get out of the jar. But I can just literally grab a bunch of capers
Nice.
with these.
Someone says jokingly, it's a wishbone from a huge silver chicken.
Yeah. And I'm wishing for more snow. Okay, I'm eyeballing another, this is a fourth of a cup of capers with a little bit of the juice. I like lots of this stuff, so.
I love capers. We can have extra capers. Someone asking, could you use the olives that are stuffed with garlic cloves?
I, I've never liked those. I feel like the garlic cloves taste a tiny bit chemically to me, but you could, I'm sure. That would probably be kind of cool.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Everybody has to go make chicken Marbella like tonight or tomorrow and let us know how it all turns out.
Okay, so now we're doing bay leaves, and I highly recommend you try fresh bay leaves. They are so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you know what bay leaves are like when they're dried? They just like crumble, and then you get like this little crunch of bay leaf that's not really that exciting. And this is cool because you can leave the bay leaf. It's okay if someone gets the bay leaf, it's still beautiful. It's not like a weird dried up pale green, the bright, beautiful green. Now we have, for this half recipe, 2 to 4 cloves of garlic. This is not one of my favorite things to do. I think that's true of most people, but that is a great technique. I'm sure you've all seen this before, right? Even though you haven't, you're gonna see these tweezers everywhere now.
Someone's asking, where can we find fresh bay leaves? So I know we had them at City Market. Yeah.
Most of your sort of health food, natural food, local food sort of places would have them, I would think. Whole Foods.
Will dry ones work if you're not able to find fresh ones?
Absolutely. That's what's in the recipe, dry ones. I just wanted to get a little fancy, a little fresh.
Plus they come in a bag of like 50, so you can use whatever you need for the recipe and then dry the rest.
Yeah,
so
you can dry the rest. And they last for, I'd say, a couple weeks in the fridge. So peeling garlic, cloves, I'm sure you all know this. You just take the side of your knife and the heel of your hand and smash it, and it opens pretty easily. But then I still have to chop it. So you could use a garlic, what do you call those things?
Press. We have one if you'd rather use it.
Use a garlic press if you want to. What? You always hear things like never use a garlic press. Like, who knows why that is? Does anyone know why you're not supposed to use a garlic press? Does it press out all the goodness?
I just hate cleaning it.
Yeah, cleaning is a mess, but I mean, this is a mess too.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. It's what am I complaining about? It's not taking that long. So I'm just gonna slice up each clove, and we can't do close-ups here, but be very careful and using the kind of the claw technique. And then when you get to a certain part, you want to turn it over so that the wide part is on the bottom again. Makes it a lot easier and less dangerous. Okay, almost done with the garlic. Anybody else been poshmarking like crazy? Please tell me.
I'm in closet clean out mode right now. I have too many clothes that I need to send some to Goodwill. So I'm the opposite.
Or you can sell them on Poshmark.
I don't have enough fancy stuff to go. It's
Mhm.
like old t-shirts and stuff that nobody's going to want them.
You'd be surprised the things that I actually see on there. But all right, everybody know this technique of chopping. You're just gonna hold the tip of the knife down and only raising and lowering the end. My husband chops like this. I've tried to teach him so many times. But after a while, you just kind of leave the room, right? He's such a good cook in so many other ways, though. He does all the grilling, and he makes this incredible roast. Like, I won't even go near that because he is just the best. It's really simple. He just sears it in a cast iron skillet, and then he salt and peppers it. Puts it in with, like a glass of water. That's how he measures it. And mushrooms, onions, potatoes, and onions. And then he covers it with foil and he cooks it for about 3 or 4 hours. And it's fantastic.
So we have Matt saying Anthony Bourdain hated garlic presses. It makes the garlic flavor more harsh. And someone says, I like shaving my garlic on a microplane instead of using a garlic press. Yep, that's another option. Getting really finely shaved garlic. And then we have a couple people wondering what Poshmark is. Some people don't even know what it is. So explain.
So, okay, so I don't know. I feel like all of this garlic might be too much. Do you like a lot of garlic?
I like garlic.
You like garlic? Okay. Poshmark is an online gently used, hopefully, clothing store sort of thing, where people with clothes that they want to sell their clothes. Some of the clothes are really fancy designer label clothes. I'd say probably 50 to 60 to 70% are. And then there's other stuff too. I mean, you could just find anything. I actually looked up aprons today.
Nice.
And I found a bunch of really cool aprons on Poshmark. So you just Google Poshmark and you can like somebody's item. If you like haggling, Poshmark is for you. You like their item, and then they usually send you a notice that says, I'll give you a 10% discount, or blah, blah, blah. And then you can either accept it, or you can decline it, or you can counter offer. So it's pretty fun, and you can get some great deals.
Yep. I'm going to go baste the chicken again, and then you have about 2 minutes left on your potato timer.
Okay, here's the basting spoon.
Thanks.
And then you can sell your clothes on it as well. So if you have something that's cool, and also if you get something from Poshmark and you don't like it, you can reposh it. So you just click a button and reposh it, and then it goes back on sale and somebody will buy it from you. It's pretty awesome. What else have I got to do here? I think I have to do the oregano. So I'm using fresh oregano. And this is a pretty tender stem, but I'm gonna probably take most of the leaves off. But if you get a couple of stems in there, it's not that big of a deal because they're tender stems. Check my potatoes here.
Yep, you got 30 seconds left on 12 minutes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna check my potatoes with the tip of my knife. They are done. So I'm gonna pause on this and drain my potatoes. I'm gonna pause on the marinade if you guys don't mind, because I'm gonna do the potatoes for you and then keep them warm. And I have another exciting tool to show you. Oh my God, this is the
Do you want help with that?
biggest pot of potatoes. So I guess I did not half the potato recipe actually.
Well, we have double the chicken recipe, so we'll just staff it out and people can have
Yeah.
potatoes and chicken. All right, I'm setting one more 10-minute timer for the chicken.
Okay.
Good team effort.
So I'm taking the potatoes, I put them in a strainer, I'm gonna put them back in the pot and put it back on the heat just for a few seconds. Because I really want to dry these potatoes because you have all this moisture in your potatoes and then you add the cream and the butter, it just gets kind of, it's not, like if you're making mashed potatoes, it does not get fluffy. And if you're making the smashed potatoes, it's just a little gooey and runny rather than just like a potato and butter and cream. So I'm just shaking them back and forth till I can see that it's totally dry on the bottom there.
It's a good arm workout. Ugh.
Yeah, well, cooking is a good arm workout. So then I'm just gonna add the butter. See, how much butter did we say? We said about 4 to 6 tablespoons. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
8 in a stick.
So I'd say 6 to 8. No, I like a lot of butter. And who doesn't?
We have a suggestion for folks, have a bowl next to your cutting board to use as a garbage can, so you don't have to keep walking to your garbage can elsewhere in your kitchen. It saves a lot of steps.
Thank you.
Great suggestion.
Thank you. I've only done the cooking classes in here a few times, and so I'm still getting used to where I should be. But that's such a great idea. I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna tell all my assistants to make a note of that.
We also have someone asking, I couldn't get connected right away, so I'm wondering if the overnight marinade for the chicken is the amount in the recipe. No, we are making right now a half batch of the marinade, and the chicken that's currently in the oven was a full batch.
Right. Sorry
So
about
hopefully that
that, but once we sort of sent out the recipe and then we started doing the grocery shopping and the thinking, and we said, oh my God, we're gonna just have so much chicken here. So look, this is my masher, and I have to say it's not my favorite masher. This was at my husband's house, but it works. But look at this masher.
This is the one from our kitchen downstairs.
This is the masher from City Market's kitchen, their real kitchen, and I'm excited to use it.
You know, it's for the giant stock pots that we're making, and then it just is going to make quick work of these.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna add some salt, even though I did salt the water, but I'm still gonna add some salt. So I'm just gonna give them a little bit of a mash without the cream, just because it makes it a little less, you know, cream splashing all over the place. And really, I'm not going to mash them too much because these are smashed potatoes. So I still want, that's why I kept the skins on. I want you to be able to see sort of chunks of potatoes. That really made quick work of it, I tell you what.
Could you do this with a non-dairy option if you were trying to avoid dairy? Like have you ever tried it with like nut milk cream or anything like that?
I haven't,
Okay.
but they make such amazing products now. I'm sure.
Yeah, there's no dairy in the chicken. Like if you wanted to make this whole meal dairy
Yeah,
free, you could
I'm
probably.
sure there's an option. Also, you could probably just, well, add maybe a vegetable stock if you didn't want to use the chicken stock. A little more butter, and you're probably fine. Like some butter and some parsley, you probably don't need the cream. I actually do want to heat this cream up before I pour it in, but just gonna save time by showing not heating it up. I'm just gonna keep these spuds warm. Now let's see, I do need a spoon, but I'll just use this spoon. So, you know, this is not like whipped potatoes. This is not riced potatoes. This is mashed potatoes. So it's gonna look chunky and rustic. It's oh, so good.
I feel like those are better for soaking up things with sauces anyway. Like if you whip it to all heck, it's already got all the cream and butter incorporated, and
now look at that.
soak
See?
it up better.
That's a good looking potato, smashed potato. All right, so I'm gonna put a little lid on that.
I'm gonna grab you the lid.
Keep that warm. Just gonna put it back on this burner because I turned it off. Are they in here?
Yep. About head height, middle.
Okay. There we go. So I put it back on the burner for now, but it had been turned off for a few minutes, so it should be okay. Otherwise, I might, if I had a smaller pot, I might put it in another pot with warm water. There's a million ways to keep your potatoes warm. What's your favorite way to keep your potatoes warm? All right, so we're back to the marinade, and I am pulling off the leaves of the oregano, and I need, how much oregano do I need? 1/4 of a cup of oregano. You could also just take a little more off and use this as a little bit of a garnish too, along with your parsley, which is very nice. Fresh oregano. You can use dried oregano, but just so much nicer to have fresh. But it's no shame in using dried oregano. All right?
No shame here.
Shame. What are some recipes you guys want to you all would like to watch in the future?
Yeah, that's a great idea. If people want to put in the chat recipes that you'd like to see Audrey or any of our other class instructors, but especially Audrey, I'll also send out a class survey tomorrow where there's an option to do the same thing, put in classes that you'd like to see. So it helps us decide what to do next.
Yeah.
What you want to see.
So this is a rough chop. I like to be able to see it in the dish.
Yes, this is Mexican oregano, I think, or it's like a certain variety of oregano. It's just, someone said the leaves are tremendous. I was like, yeah, it's a different, I was going to say brand, and that's wrong. I think varietal.
So just a rough chop.
And there's about 2 minutes left on the last 10 minutes on the chicken. Do you want me to pull it out for you and check it while you're making that marinade?
Sure, that'd be great.
That goes off, I'll go do that.
Okay, and now the parsley. And so we're doing fourth of a cup of wait, how much parsley am I doing? No, I'm only doing a few tablespoons. 1 to 2 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon. What? I wouldn't even do 1 tablespoon.
Also, big parsley. Look at that.
Yes, this is huge parsley.
We have the idea of sourdough bread and croissant making. So we do actually have a bakery instructor, Heike, who will probably be doing a sourdough series again with us in May. So keep an eye out for that. How about a lobster dish, fra diavolo?
Wow. Lobster.
I gotta check my budget for lobster,
Oh, right.
but that's a great idea.
What kind of a lobster dish are you thinking about?
The fra diavolo spicy, I guess.
Oh.
Is that what that means?
Oh, okay. I don't know that, but I could learn it.
Ruby wants to know, what's your favorite style of cooking?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, oh gosh. Well, honestly, I like to cook a meal to impress. So if I'm just making well, I never do, but if I'm just making, like my husband will grill steaks or grill chicken or grill fish, things like that. But it's very, very simple. It's salt and pepper, maybe some soy sauce or something like that. That does not interest me. But God, I guess I love traditional things like Americana or French or Italian. I don't do a lot of seafood actually, but I should do more. I like doing recipes that make a lot of cleanup for my husband. And it's not because I want him to have to do a lot of cleanup, it just turns out that way. So we're saving this parsley to add at the last minute to our chicken. I'm gonna put this over here. Now I'm taking my time with all of this because it's a pretty simple cooking class with just making a marinade and mashed potatoes. I could get it done a lot quicker, and so could you if you think like, wow, this is taking forever to chop these herbs. Okay. So I've got about 1/8 of a teaspoon or a generous pinch or 2 of pepper. I think I've got about a 1/4 of, no, a whole teaspoon of kosher salt. My measuring techniques there. And then the chicken. So where is that chicken? Oh, there it is. I'm just going to mix it with my hands. I'm going to go get the chicken. I've got everything in there. Got the olive oil, the red wine vinegar, the pitted prunes, the pitted Spanish olives, the capers, the bay leaves, the garlic, the oregano, salt and pepper. Then we're going to save the white wine and the brown sugar for after we marinate this overnight, like 24 hours. And then when we pull it out of the marinade and put it into our baking dish, that's when we add the white wine and the brown sugar.
So yes, Phyllis, right now we are making the marinade. We're back to the marinade. The potatoes are done and just resting on the burner that has been turned off. Sorry for any confusion. Ruby says, any dish with prawns, shrimp. We have not lost sound. Hopefully I will respond to this person.
Oh, I love, I've been making this dish for my husband. We love it. It's just pretty simple. It's just a Cajun blackened shrimp with cheesy grit. It's quite delicious. I also love making, oh Lord, what's it called? Shrimp and pasta
Yeah, we have paella, so that could work, right? There's usually shrimp and paella as an option or an idea. Curious about how to cook liver. I never cook it. Grain or vegetarian-based salads. A lot of good options there. I wish I could
never
like liver.
cook liver either. What's that?
I said I wish I could like liver because I know it's supposed to be good for you, but I just can't. That's just not my.
My mother's from Germany, and so I don't know if Germany has anything to do with it. I mean, she does like liverwurst quite a bit. I'm putting a little more olive oil in here because it just seems a little not juicy enough. So I'm just mixing this around with my hands. And if I had the Ziploc bag, I would just stick it in there. But I can just cover this with foil or plastic wrap and leave this, making sure everything's nicely coated overnight in the fridge. Then we're going to take it out, put it into our baking dish, pour in the white wine, sprinkle in the brown sugar, stick it in the oven, baste it a couple of times.
What we've done in the beginning.
Yeah. So I'm going to put this away and wash my hands real quick.
And by the time you do that, the chicken in the oven should probably be perfectly set because it just needed a few more minutes.
Oh, did you check it? You checked it?
Yeah, I checked it. It was a little tiny bit pink in the middle. So I think once you're done washing your hands, it should be good to go.
Great.
So as you can see, this is a really, I mean, once you do the overnight marinade, relatively quick and simple meal because it's only 6:30 and we're almost done. So now is a great time. We will kind of do the finishing steps. Audrey will show plating and all that good stuff. But if you wanted to have any other questions answered by Audrey, now is a great time. I can read them out. But yeah, we're going to end a little early tonight, maybe. Quick and easy dinner after.
Here. So, okay, I'm going to show you a little demo. A pretend demo. So have you ever wanted to brown some sage leaves in butter? Just pretend these are sage leaves, and this is a pan with browned butter in it. And I'm using a big giant tong, or I can go in with my tweezers. So easily turn them over.
I like how those have the rounded tips too. That's like so. The little spatula tips. It's great.
And P.S. I do have a little store on Amazon where you can find my favorites. I haven't added these yet. I have to keep going on that. But you can see these can be quite handy. Also, if you're just like me and you love taking pictures of your food and you want to just zhuzh it a little, these are so great for that.
We have Alice saying, I would love to learn French macarons. We talked about that, didn't we, last time? We talked about you and you don't like making macarons, or am I making that up?
No, I think you're making that up.
Making that up.
That's so funny because I was just looking in a magazine today. I've been trying to think of things to make for the next recipe in February, and I saw this beautiful picture of French macarons, and I thought, I could maybe do that.
Yeah.
So
Kathy's asking, do you want to go grab the chicken and then I'll ask a few more questions so it doesn't.
I'll check it.
Okay.
I'll check the chicken.
Ruby says chicken liver with spicy potatoes is amazing. Great. That sounds. I'm sure it would taste good. I don't know if I can get my head over like liver.
I forgot to finish my story about my mother.
Oh yeah.
My German mother. So I do have a taste for liver, but God, oh my gosh, this smells so good, you guys. I wish we had like smell vision or whatever it's called. What did you use to poke in there and see?
Oh, I had the little paring knife and the fork that were over on the stove.
Anyways, so she used this sounds disgusting, but it was so good. She used to cook chicken livers for me when I was little, and I didn't know any better. And I really liked them. I really liked them for most of my life. I haven't made them in a long time. And the other thing I love is liverwurst. Oh my God, I love liverwurst. Have you ever tried it, Carrie?
No,
you can't wrap your head around it.
My fiance likes it, so I bring home like small amounts for him, and he's always like, "Do you want a sandwich?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." It just smells So strong.
Oh God, it's so good. This with mustard on like a black bread or something. Delish. Okay, so this is perfection. Look at all that juice. God, that's a lot of juice. And the juices in the chicken are running clear. That's what you want to look for. So what I'm going to do is move these potatoes over here. And if this was a metal pan, I could plate the chicken and then I could cook these juices on the stovetop. But I'm not going to do that with this. So I'm going to plate now. Let's see, where's that big spoon, the basting spoon?
Oh, it's over by the stove. I can go grab it for you if you want.
Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, right on
Here we
the
go.
top.
Now listen, I can use the tongs for this too. I don't need to use the tongs just for delicate stuff. So I'm gonna arrange my chicken on my warmed platter. You can also just plate this if you want to, but I would put it on a platter while you're making the drippings.
Chicken livers are tasty, versatile, and easy to cook / enjoy. Beef / calf / veal liver is what I'm curious about. Yes, that sounds like there's some interest in that. Phyllis wants to know, how do we find you on Amazon? Did you just search you, or how does that work?
Yeah.
Or you can send me a link and I can email it
to it. I think you have a link to it, don't you?
I know that you linked some stuff in your the chocolate making one. Does that lead directly to your store? Does that lead to just okay? I'll go back and
but I
find that
think you
link.
could just search for. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'll get Carrie to put it into the
survey email tomorrow.
Survey email when I figure it out, because I actually am quite new to it, and so I don't know. So you can use this to sort of place your beautiful olives and prunes on top. But if that's taking too long, you can also use a spoon. Just move around. And then I'm going to take these juices, and I'm going to heat them up.
It smells so good in here. So excited to eat this for dinner.
And see how pretty these bay leaves are? You don't want to eat them, but you can still leave them in there.
Yeah, they held together so much better than the dried ones.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We have someone saying, I'd love to learn how to make lemon sauce. I don't know if that's like a sweet dessert thing or like a savory thing, but and then Kathy's asking, do you know what foods are tasty to cook with tamari, aka low sodium soy sauce?
Oh, you can use that
Just
in place of any soy sauce. You don't have to have a special recipe for that. Butter, or a lemon butter sauce. Now listen, one of the easiest and most delicious recipes is this lemon butter pasta dish, and it's Danny Kaye's recipe. Danny Kaye, the actor that was in White Christmas, of Bing Crosby. Very, very funny, amazing actor. I just love him. Comedian. And I'm gonna cover this with. I'm just gonna cover with foil, so keep it warm while I'm doing this last little step here. Anyway, this lemon pasta, I could do that. It's pretty simple, but oh my God, it's so good. Or you can Google it. Okay, so I'm gonna transfer the pan juices to this pan pot, and bring them to a boil. I don't want the bay leaf in there. And I've done this 1,000 times without doing this step, and it's just as good, or almost as good.
Look at that, not a drop.
She's a pro.
We have someone saying, I would love to run the finished chicken under the broiler for 5 minutes and crisp it up. I don't know, could you do that if, would it still crisp like the meat if it's a boneless, skinless?
I don't think it really would.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you use the skin on one, then yeah, do that. You could do that. I don't know if I would do that with all those pan juices in there. That might get messy. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do, you want to complicate things and make more work for yourself, is that you could saute the chicken, brown the chicken before you add it, and cool it before you add it to the marinade in the very first step. Okay? Okay, so I am going to check for seasoning. I forgot to bring a strainer. Do we have a strainer? Why do I have to strain this?
I don't think you have to. It just has all the good stuff in it still,
know.
right? Capers and the oregano, and I don't want to get rid of all the good stuff.
Right.
We just have someone saying, thank you for the great recipe and great class. I think maybe I have to jump off a few minutes early. And Phyllis, yes, we were not frying sage leaves for this recipe. It was just a demo of how the
sorry.
tweezers could be helpful with the bay leaves as a stand-in.
Sorry, fellas. All right, so I'm just gonna boil this for a minute or two until it reduces to about a half a cup, but I'm not sure. That's a lot of juice. And then I'm gonna plate it.
Yeah.
So let's see. What, any other questions about this delicious dish?
Nope, I've asked everything so far that is in the chat. I think people are just jealous that they don't get to eat it, and we
I
do.
know, I mean, I wish that you could. How many people actually live in the area? Are you guys, any of you living in the Burlington area?
At least of all of the people who chimed in with where they're watching from, no one was local. A lot of across the country.
Okay, well, I was going to say, I mean, I might do a live cooking class, and then you could come, and then you could eat the food.
Yeah, we could do the lemon butter pasta.
Yeah, so good. Okay, so I'm going to clean this off a little bit.
You need a rag?
I have one.
Ah.
I have several.
You do. Look at that.
And then we're going to plate it up.
We have one person watching from Burlington. I stand corrected.
Cool.
So you can come to class.
Yeah.
Audrey's going to teach again in February. Still deciding what. So we'll figure that out. I wish everybody could be here and eat together because now we have a lot of chicken. But next time. Or just come visit Burlington. Maybe when there's not 8 inches of snow on the ground, but come visit.
Or if you like to ski, like me.
Yeah, that's true.
Come visit Burlington.
All the winter sports people are very happy because it's been a very low snow winter so far, and we just got 2 different sort of winter storm.
Yeah, and we're getting more.
And we're going to get more. Yeah. Finally winter.
Finally winter. Okay. So this is beautiful. And I'm just going to spoon a little bit of this on here so we're just not waiting around forever for this to reduce, because it's a lot of juice. And
oh, we have Gladys asking, can you use caper berries, the really big sort of stemmed ones in this.
Yeah, I actually was looking for caper berries.
I don't think we carry them. At least
No,
I
you
haven't seen
don't,
them,
because
yeah.
I asked. But what I would do, or what I was going to do, was use the regular sized capers and then just a few caper berries to show off.
Be fancy.
Yeah, so I'm going to sprinkle a little parsley. If I had saved any oregano, now you can add the parsley to the juices, or you can just sprinkle on top. I thought I saved some oregano, but I don't see it. Look at that. I mean,
Beautiful.
so beautiful. So now I'm going to plate it. This is still boiling away over here.
I have someone who's shared the pasta recipe that they found in the chat, the one that you were talking
Oh, the
about.
Danny
So
Boy
it's in the
recipe?
chat now if people are curious.
Oh, it's so good.
We
so
could do that and
simple.
do like shrimp. We could cook together.
I wouldn't mess with that at all. I wouldn't do a single change to that recipe. My smashed potatoes, my chicken. This is a dinner party dish for sure. But so easy that you can make it on a weeknight as well. So, I mean, the best of both worlds. And the potatoes are really great because there's so much of this beautiful juice here. And we can just sprinkle a little more parsley.
Gorgeous.
Voila. Let's see.
Gorgeous. Yeah, you got to taste test
See
it.
how it tastes. Sitting room here.
So yeah, as people can see, we're going to wrap up a little bit before 7. Now is the best chance to get any further questions answered while Audrey tries what she's made, and I try it later off camera. I will send a survey email out tomorrow, again, with the links that Audrey mentioned. I'll include some of those things in there, a link to her Instagram and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, really glad that everybody joined us tonight. Super excited to have you all tune in. And hopefully if you do make this, send us pictures, tag us on Instagram, let us know how your substitutions worked out. We'd love to hear it.
Don't forget to check your potatoes for seasonings too, because I noticed the potatoes could use a little extra salt. And then, of course, when you take the juices off, check them for seasoning. And it's terrific. I hope you really enjoy it. I hope you make it soon. Please send us pictures wherever you are. I hope you're enjoying your winter. This is a real cozy meal. And I hope to see you all very soon in your new Poshmark outfits.
I love it. That's the thing we talked about at our cooking class. That's great. So yeah, like I mentioned, our class calendar is up. I haven't added Audrey's February one yet, but I will once we decide what that will be, and then continue to check that. I'm sure Audrey will be back to teach even more with us. Thank you all so much. Have a great night and happy cooking. Bye.
Bye, everybody.